Hi, my name is Michael Hollins, and I am the managing attorney here at the Hollins Bankruptcy Law Office. And today I would like to talk to you about reaffirmation agreements. What is a reaffirmation agreement, and how does that help you and protect you in a bankruptcy with assets that you may want to keep? But first, if you want to feel good about relieving your debt, if you want to feel good about relieving your debt, please head on over to hollandsbankruptcy.com, or you can give us a call at 866 86 Bills. That is 866 862 4557. Be happy to talk to you. Now, on to the topic at hand. What is a reaffirmation agreement? A reaffirmation agreement is like an additional contract for an asset that you'd like to keep in bankruptcy. So even if a debt can be discharged, you may have a special reason that you want to promise to continue to pay and hold on to that particular asset attached to that debt. For example, you may want to work out a plan with the bank to keep your car. And to promise to pay that debt, you must sign what is called a reaffirmation agreement. That's something that has to be filed with the court. Now, a reaffirmation agreement, you're just reaffirming, are under kind of special rules, and they're voluntary. So they're not really required by the court, but there are some things, there is elements that have to be met for a reaffirmation agreement to be successful and effective. Now, to reaffirm a debt, it must be voluntary, first off. You get to voluntarily decide, I want to keep this vehicle in the example I'm using, and you get to voluntarily say that. No one, the creditor can't make you do it. Of course, your attorney can't, the judge can't, trustee cannot. It is 100% voluntary. You can decide, I want to keep this in this example vehicle, or I don't. Secondly, the agreement to pay this debt, the monthly stress on your family budget, it can't be too heavy a burden. For a reaffirmation agreement to be effective, the reaffirming that debt and say, I will continue to pay this monthly amount of money, it should not be too much on your budget. This is for it to be effective now. It should really, number three, be in the best interest of your finances moving forward. So moving forward from bankruptcy, you have certain financial goals that you want to meet, which will include maybe purchasing a home. It may include getting your credit score higher. It may include getting business credit. And to do those things, to reaffirm a debt from prior to bankruptcy that is dischargeable, or that you could simply discharge, meaning give it back and not pay, it really should be in the best interest of what your future goals are. And fourth and lastly, understand that a reaffirmation agreement can be canceled even after your meeting of creditors, or you have up until 60 days after your filing to determine if you really are making the right decision. So if initially you decide, I want to keep this vehicle, I'm going to reaffirm the debt, and we do that and file your paperwork, you will still have some time, a month or two, to determine, well, maybe that's not in the best interest of my budget. Or maybe this it's a voluntary thing. I want to voluntarily not do this, or voluntarily take away the reaffirmation agreement. You have time in there to make that decision. So that is important to know, and these are all very important things about reaffirmation agreement. Again, it is something that is voluntary. Now, your attorney will be able to advise you, and we do this all the time, on if reaffirming a debt is in your best interest. When we look at your budget moving forward, look at what your credit goals are, look at where you want to do, then we can give you a really good idea on if it is something that you should do. If you are in bankruptcy and you're not represented by an attorney, well, then you actually have to go before the judge and make your case for reaffirming debt. And that is one of the reasons why attorneys are used in bankruptcy, because there are situations like this where if you don't have an attorney, then it is you and the trustee working out a lot of these situations. Where if you have an attorney, all of that is taken care of. So now understand, if you decide it is in your best interest to move forward and keep the vehicle absolutely voluntarily your decision. Just know that moving forward, after you've reaffirmed that debt, and if you were to fail to make that payment, you would still be on the hook for the entirety of that particular debt, or in the case of our example, that vehicle. If you reaffirm the debt past bankruptcy and you fail to make those payments on time, the vehicle could still be repossessed and or placed on your credit. And also, that debt could be something that, again, wasn't discharged, so they could still come after you for that. So when you file bankruptcy, you really want to just make sure you talk with your attorney about, should I hold on to this vehicle and or this house or whatever the asset is. And the question comes down to, one, do you voluntarily want to keep it? Can you afford it? Is it in your best interest? If it is, then a reaffirmation agreement is great. You sign that, continue to pay for that car in the example that we're using, and it is yours to move forward with. And that's not a bad thing. Holding on to a vehicle is not a bad thing. Giving a vehicle back is just completely up to you. Neither is a negative from either perspective. It's completely up to you if you would like to reaffirm a debt to keep a vehicle or not. So I hope this was good information. I hope that I shed some light on what a reaffirmation agreement is. I want to say again that if you have liked this video, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, share this with someone that you think may need it, or just share it. You never know who will need it. And if you personally would like to reach out and get a great feeling about getting rid of your debt, then feel free to give us a call at 866-86-BILLS or go to hollandsbankruptcy.com. And that number translated is 866-862-4557. And I would like to thank you for listening.